organs. So the side effects of THC are very, very severe, which is why I really never recommend it unless somebody's taking it for a short time for chronic pain that is prescribed by a medical professional. CBD, on the other hand, though, is probably the closest equivalent to a very strong lavender essential oil or chamomile. And so CBD actually comes from the flower. It's part of a flower family like lavender and like chamomile. And it just has a calming effect on the body. And so if you've ever used, again, lavender or chamomile, that's the best example I can think of. Medical studies show there is zero hallucinogenic effects. The big effects are it improves sleep. Several medical studies have shown it might be the most effective herb on the planet for treating insomnia. It's also very highly anti-inflammatory. So a lot of people with chronic joint pain, in fact, I have Jordan Rubin and I both have a lot of friends of ours that are well-known pastors that speak on places like TBN and Daystar and 700 Club. And one of them in particular here in Nashville was having major low back pain and joint pain. We got him, he started taking CBD, and he was literally a few days later saying, Josh and Jordan, I cannot believe how much better my joints feel after taking this. And so all that being said, CBD is most beneficial for sleep, for joint pain, chronic inflammation, and also has some benefits for digestion and hormones. The big thing it does is it gets us out of a sympathetic state. A lot of us live in this fight or flight response. CBD is probably the most effective compound for just calming your body and getting out of a fight or flight state. And again, it's in the family of something like a chamomile and lavender. So anyways, the problem is people think of hemp, they think of THC. This is a completely different compound. And so anyways, CBD has loads and loads of benefits. And again, completely healthy.
So are you recommending topical or taking it internally, or both?
It just depends. It depends. If you've got inflammation and you want it directly affecting the joint, I do think some of the topical rubs are good. But I think generally speaking, internally is more effective. I think you're going to have higher degree of absorption if you take it internally. So I think you can do a dropper, like, a few drops under your tongue. Typically, you're going to take in between 10 and 50 milligrams a day.
Okay, got it. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think that is very helpful and very clear to clear up some of the misconceptions and the fear and worry and concern around using those products that are all natural. There's still a lot of stigma around that. And so that's wonderful. And so ladies, if you're wanting to know more about this, then of course you're going to be wanting to get Dr. Axe's new book, Ancient Remedies, that will be coming out February 2nd. And he dives deeper into all of that. So that's wonderful. Now, for someone who really hasn't begun creating some starting to go a natural way in their health, ultimately, like someone that like this seems very foreign. They're not used to it. They don't understand essential oils. They're just starting to get on track with healthy eating. Where do you think someone should start when they're beginning to incorporate a more natural, holistic health way of life?
Yeah, well, number one, I'll just say this. I do think one of the things I've noticed is people that tend to start getting more healthy and start seeing good results tend to be those that educate themselves, like listening to like your podcast. That's a prime example. Reading an article I wrote or my new book, that's a great example. I would just encourage you, hey, just start educating yourself, reading things. In my book, I really think it's simple. We go through really basic but powerful nutritional concepts. And some of it's advanced, but it's advanced that you can understand and really implement and see breakthroughs with. So again, I would continue to download your podcast and subscribe here. I'd run out and get my new book. You can just search Dr. Axe Ancient Remedies on Amazon. They could ship it to you. It could be there in a couple days. That's a great place to start. Now, generally speaking, though, one of the things I have always recommended is just change breakfast. Think about this. If you just change breakfast, you're changing a third of your diet. That's not like a baby step. That's a big leap forward. And I would start doing something like a real simple recipe is a superfood smoothie or a collagen smoothie. And really, you can start with 3 ingredients and you're getting everything you need at breakfast. You can do 1 cup of an almond milk or a coconut milk. There, you're going to be getting lots of healthy fats, okay, that are great for your body and your metabolism. 1 cup of berries, could be blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, or you could do other fruit as well. But I tend to do berries. They're very low glycemic, really high in antioxidants and nutrients. And then I tend to do 1 cup of like a collagen protein or a bone broth protein, typically a vanilla or chocolate flavor, and do that. And boom, that's it. 3 ingredient superfood smoothie. Now, hey, if you want to get fancy and get some more health benefits, you can throw in a handful of spinach in there. You won't even taste it. You could add in some greens powder, add in some cinnamon, which is great for energy and blood sugar. So I think, just changing your breakfast, that goes such a long way with that superfood smoothie. And I've got a bunch of those different recipes in my new book there as well. You could check that out and a few other things here. So one of the things, and this is spiritual, so I want to say this too. I think the things that I do most is I start off every morning doing my spiritual triathlon. Now, I used to be a triathlete years ago. I was on University of Kentucky's triathlon team. And so I haven't done one in a little while, but I still do my spiritual triathlon every morning. And I do about 30 minutes. Okay. You could do 15. You could probably do this in 10 minutes, but I do about 30 minutes every morning. I spend 10 minutes in gratitude. I do a prayer walk on a quick 10-minute walk, and I put my hands in the air and I just listen to a praise and worship music and just say, God, I'm so grateful for how blessed I am to have, number one, you as my savior, and just you're a perfect father. I'm so grateful for my amazing wife. I'm so grateful for my daughter, Arwen, who's 9 months old and crawling. And I'm just so grateful. So I start off every morning doing that for 10 minutes. And then I read my Bible for 10 minutes. And then I tend to pray, and then I'll pray for 10 minutes or sort of meditate on what I read. And so if I read 1 Corinthians 13, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast. I'll think through, okay, have I been as kind as I can? Like, let me think about, is there a time this week where I could have been more kind to Chelsea or someone else? And then if not, I want to go and repent and apologize, or also think about, hey, how can I be kind to Chelsea or someone at work today? Hey, was someone having a hard day? And so I'll meditate on that and also pray, and I'm just like that for me, because we talked earlier, right? Just about the importance of emotional and spiritual health, starting off your morning every day like that. And then having a good breakfast like that superfood smoothie, like that goes so far for me. And if there's any other tips, I would say this: focus on eating real food. There are, get more vegetables, more fruits, more wild organic meat products. I think those specifically, whole grains, really focus in on there on just eating the real stuff. And that'll go a long way too. So, and I've got meal plans in my book for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So if your goal is to balance your metabolism, boost your immunity, balance hormones, whatever it is, I've got different meal plans. Actually, one of the things in the book is I have a personalized quiz in there. And by the way, I'm interested if you took the quiz. You may not have yet, but there's a quiz in there, because here's the thing I believe too. I don't believe there's one diet for everybody. I believe that God all made us in a very unique way, just like he gave some people gifts of teaching, some of serving, some of prayer. Like, I think all of us have different gifts. We're also wired differently. Because has anybody ever had this happen? Your friend did a diet and it worked for them, and you tried to eat the same thing and it did not work for you. It's because we're all different. So in the book I go through, it's called The 5 Elements of Asian Medicine, but they go through, it's kind of like if anybody's ever taken an Enneagram quiz or a DISC profile or Myers-Briggs, and those are amazing, like how accurate they are. God wired us a certain way. Well, in the book, you can take a quiz to find out which diet is best for you. For some people, there's a diet really great for hormones. For others, really great for the digestive system. And so anyways, but I think again, God made us so uniquely that I think we should be eating different foods. But again, I cover that in the book.
Yes. And I did not take the quiz for myself, but I saw it and I thought, this is amazing. And that was one of the things that I had not heard before, which I love, was those 5 different elements. And I thought, This is fascinating. This is a completely different way to look at your health and to look at what your needs would be based on where you're at and kind of what you're going through. So this book is so amazing. It is full of so many incredible just knowledge, wisdom, practicality, recipes, quizzes, all the wonderful things. I'm so excited. So the full title is Ancient Remedies, Secrets to Healing with Herbs, Essential Oils, CBD, and the Most Powerful Natural Medicine in History. And so it's incredible. I'm so excited about that. So tell us where we can get your book, get our hands on this, and dive into what you have and what you have to offer through your business.
Yeah, absolutely. I did want to mention one other thing, just talking about God and just how amazing he is. He actually made nutrition pretty easy for us in certain circumstances. And I do talk about this in the book, but basically recognizing what you should eat, you can tell based on the appearance of the food, the flavor of the food, and the color of the food. And that will tell you which organs it's going to help strengthen. I'll give you an example. Like, isn't it amazing that a walnut looks like your brain? If you have a walnut, it looks like a head. You crack it open. There's two hemispheres, like the left and right side of your brain. And walnuts are high in choline, vitamin E, omega-3 fatty acids. They're like literally the ultimate brain food. Coconuts look like a head, and they're full of medium chain, these fats that are good for your brain tissue. And they have a liquid inside that's like your cerebral spinal fluid. So it helps with all your cellular fluids. Beets look like blood. They boost nitric oxide. They've been shown to reverse heart disease. You've got kidney beans and reishi mushrooms that look like your adrenals. They're adrenal tonics. Onions literally look like our cells, and they actually have a compound called quercetin that cleanses our cells. Celery looks like our bones. Look at your forearm, those bones there. It's high in vitamin K, calcium. It's the most alkaline of the vegetables. So it actually keeps your body from losing minerals, which are alkaline, and helps strengthen. So anyways, I get into this in the book too, which is really cool. But I just want to say too, like, that's what an amazing God we have, that he literally said, hey, look at this. I'm making it easy for you, showing you what to do. And like, green foods are good for the liver. Red foods good for the heart. Yellow, like chicken bone broth and ginger, those are light yellow, are good for the immune system. So anyways, there's just so many things. I think it's actually pretty easy when you dig in. But again, I think it's, some people make it more complicated, but God made it easy for us, which again, I get into in the book. So you can find me in the new book on Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com, or run out to your local bookstore. But if you buy it online, they'll ship it to you. It'll be to you in probably, again, a day or two, and just search Dr. Axe Ancient Remedies. And by the way, I want to say too, Dr. Oz rarely writes endorsements for books. He saw the book, loved it, and he wrote an endorsement. So, I mean, he loved it. Sean Johnson E., she's an Olympian, a good friend of ours. She read it and loved it. So anyways, just go on Amazon, read the reviews. I think you'll be excited to see it. And then, hey, buy it for a friend, because there's a lot of people out there that are sick and suffering who need to know how to use food as medicine. And this book teaches you how to do that. The other unique thing is it teaches you how to get to the root cause. You know, a lot of people, the problem today, and I know you know this, is like, so often today people are going to their doctor and getting prescribed a medication, and it's actually causing a side effect. It's depleting nutrients in the body versus treating the root cause, actually healing the way God intended us to. And again, people can find me also on Instagram and Facebook at Dr. Josh Axe, and my website, draxe.com. Sorry, I know I said a lot. I'm just so excited for people to learn about how to heal their body and honor God with their body, because it's impacted my family so much. Again, like, my mom today is alive because of God leading us into this, into using food as medicine. So anyways, I know I just talked more than I should have, but I'm just obviously very excited about it.
No, you definitely didn't talk more than you should have. It was wonderful. And I was thinking the whole time, you can hear and see your passion for this. And that's what I think is so beautiful. It's truly a heart passion coming out, and this desire to help people, and to desire for people to want to help themselves, and giving them the tools in order to do it. And it's beautiful. And I think it's just perfect, because God created our bodies and he created nature. He understands that they were meant to go together and how they were meant to go together. And so everything that you've touched on, it's just reiterating that. And it's beautiful. I mean, God knows we are the ones over time that have deviated from that, and that have gone to the lab, and that have chosen money over true health. Yeah. And so our system is broken. And so we're just desiring to return back to nature the way that God intended it to be. And he has everything that we need in nature. We just need to go out and start educating ourselves, and have a desire to look for that, and then actually take the course of action to go away from the current standard American diet, the SAD diet, and actually turn towards health and vitality and vibrancy that is grown from the earth, that God knew about and created. And so it's a beautiful pairing. It's how it was supposed to be. So thank you so much. I cannot wait for our listeners to get their hands on your new book. And thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us. We're absolutely thrilled to introduce you to the Healthy Christian Women community. And thank you so much, Dr. Axe.
Hey, Melody, thanks for having me again. And, I was on your webpage. I'm just such a fan of what you're doing. I see you got a detox program. That looks great. And again, just was an honor to be on with you today.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks for listening. Remember to subscribe and join me next week for the next episode of the Healthy Christian Women podcast. inspiring Christian women to live healthier in their mind, body, and spirit. One day at a time. Grab your complimentary mind, body, and spirit